Alrighty. Hey everyone, hope you guys are all having a very good Wednesday out there today. Bitcoin is down just a tad of 0.5%, and a lot of other stuff is going down a lot more than that, with some exceptions here. So the overall market, I would say, is still grinding along here. Downward trend, trying to look for a breakout, opportunities for buying if you guys are looking to hold for a few months. But for most people, we're just kind of sitting on our hands and watching the news, right? Excuse me. So, happy to see all of you guys in here. A lot of news to go off of today. It looks like the big, beautiful bill is in danger. It looks like we might have to look at interest rates a little bit sooner than we thought again. So there's just a lot of chaos going on, and that chaos, of course, makes the market choppy, and it gives me something to talk about, to be honest. But before we get started, if you guys are watching the stream for the first time, please make sure to give me a nice subscribe and a like. It helps out the video a lot. And then ask any questions that you guys have as well. Gonna give a little bit of a heart treat to Loki here because he's been a very good boy today. Oh, there you go. Yum, yum. Yeah, so he's been a very good boy. We've been playing outside all day. I've been resting the last few minutes because I am exhausted. But we're gonna be talking for about 2 hours today, maybe 3 if I'm lucky here with my voice. And not so much talking about technical analysis, but really just going over the news of the day and kind of vibing with you guys and seeing what's going on. First, I do want to focus on the technicals here because we are still in a little bit of a downtrend. Happy to see you, Villarat, man. Just my oh my, guys. I mean, just look at all this stuff happening over the last few hours. Let's go over here to the hourly chart. We had an opportunity to go higher and higher and higher, but we did break down from that trend line here earlier this morning, right around 4 o'clock in the morning, it looks like. And we weren't just able to recover from that. And I don't say that's a bad thing here, but from what I'm looking at, well, this is what we were talking about yesterday. The 4-hour chart, with the moving averages, that looks like we're about to head for a death cross here pretty soon, which could definitely push us back down here towards the $100,000 support limit. And if we start breaking down below that, I would say maybe that's why I started to get a little bit more concerned about where Bitcoin's going on the downward side here, right? At this moment in time, we're just looking at consolidation, and we're looking for a breakout. But if things start to get a little bit too bad with some of the news coming out of DC or just some of the general news out there, like we had a bad jobs report today, you could see Bitcoin have a little bit more of a sharper dip into that gradual, more comprehensible drop, if you will. People don't freak out if we consolidate like this for a while. They freak out if we have a big dip and it takes us back down to support levels like 98,000, 100,000, things like that. And that looks like where we're headed right now if we're not able to find some level of support. Just over the past few weeks, as you guys know, when we do break down below these moving averages here with the death crosses on the 4-hour chart, it's not the end of the world. Sometimes it can be bad, but not always. And we're just hoping that we can continue that trend right now to stop the daily chart from having any sense of a bad trend right now. Right now, we're bearish, 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 but on the weekly chart, we are still bullish, bullish, bullish. So that overall weekly trend should still be able to carry us out, but we do need to focus by the end of this week having a strong finish, and it depends on next week to see if we're actually going to break down or if we're going to be able to hold the line here and not come all the way back down to maybe the 90s, if not coming back down here towards the low 90s, if you will, okay? So as we move on to everything else here today, I'm probably just going to go over to the 4-hour chart because I like the way that looks for us. Ethereum is actually up a little bit today where everything else is down. Solana's down a little bit here. Dogecoin's down. Trump is down. Melania is down. WIF is down. You name it, it's most likely down right now. Maybe some are just down a couple percent, but some things are down like 4 or 5%. Some things are up like Ape Token at 5%. So we're seeing a kind of a weird mixed bag right now where the majority of stuff, of course, is still going down, bleeding off because everybody's still taking their profits from the last few weeks. We've talked about that before. But you see a few things like FA that we bought or NMR that we talked about buying. Those are actually having their own moves, which are pretty nice. I actually missed out on this move, while in Vegas, and I was like, what the heck happened? I'd been buying this stuff for a while, and I love these spikes because these spikes are basically how I make money off this token, and I completely missed it. But maybe we're going to have one more spike here very, very soon. Now, one of the reasons that the market is having some issues, one of the reasons that gold continues to consolidate, but in that upward direction, Dow coming down a little bit over today, NASDAQ down a little bit here, SPY coming down a little bit. Not enough to really concern you, but enough to mean like, man, it's not as much fun as, watching the market just go higher and higher and higher, right? But there's just been a whole bunch of news today. And if I were just to go over here very fast, store closing, the Beige Book had some bad economic data coming from it. Senator Ron Johnson rips into the immoral GOP spending bill. I can't accept it. And Musk is whipping up opposition to the Trump tax plan to kill the bill. God damn, this is just kind of a crazy time for all of us involved here. And hey, Brock, happy to see my man. And so that's going to be the focus of today's video here. Now, when I look at the rest of the tokens today, look at the last 24 hours, we have some things that are up. Now, these are up like 2%, 1%. They're adjusting as we speak, as I speak. 2-3 things that are really up a decent amount: 3%, 4%, 11%. DEXY, Lido, Dow, and SPX 6900. That's it. On the other side here, Zcash down quite a bit. Dogwood Fat. And again, they've all had a great last few months. They've all had fantastic growth. But you're seeing a lot of people taking profits right now, and I'm wondering if that's just because people are thinking about the tariffs, or if there's just something out there that people need to be more concerned about. For me, I think it all really comes down to tariffs and people going from a risk-on environment to a risk-off environment. But you know, we're all going to have our different opinions on this one here, right? And also, this is just a side thing here that's not related to the cryptocurrency market. I'm going to start streaming at 4 o'clock every day. So that means Sunday through Thursday, I will be streaming at 4. What I've realized is, as I put all this new video, all this new content out for you guys, like me talking about Elon or Trump or crypto market, stuff like that, as I put that stuff out for you, I'm only allowed to have 3 notifications usually per the day. So those notifications have been going towards those videos, and my streams are not necessarily getting the massive notifications that I would normally get, which means my streams are going to start off slow and then finish off strong, which means that if I go and stream at 4 o'clock every day at the same time, then people will just automatically say, oh yeah, Michael starts at 4, then I can start watching him. And I think that makes it easier for everybody. Because, oh my God, guys, I was wondering why the heck nobody was showing up the last few streams. It's because I've been pumping out so many videos. And to be honest, like, the videos are still kind of doing okay, but this is like the best video performance I've had in a while. Same with the other one yesterday. So they're working. My channel is growing, which I really do like to say is like a good thing for me. But the side effect of that is that there's not as many notifications that I need to let you guys know that I am streaming. So I'll do posts about it and things like that. I'll try to set up the streams like an hour after I set up, within like a few minutes after I'm done with this stream. That way you guys already know they're going to be at 4, and I think that'll be a lot easier thing to do. And yeah, right, 4 works. Yeah, thank you. And yeah, bro, yeah, schedules, yeah. So I need to do that as well. But it's only going to be from Sunday to Thursday, and Friday and Saturday I'm going to take my day off. I will still be making videos, but my goal here is, and if you guys can see it right here, my goal is to put like 4 to 5 videos a day. So you look at the time here, it says 10 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. That's like 5 different video slots. Maybe I'll adjust it to 5 p.m. being the last one, but I'd rather just kind of shove them all through during the day. And whatever video you guys like, you guys can enjoy seeing them. You guys don't have to watch all of them. I see right now from the data I'm coming across on my channel, most of you guys like me talking about Elon and Trump in terms of economics, but not so much in terms of politics, which I think is actually exactly where I want to be. Maybe that's just because you guys watch me already. So I do think that's going to be a really cool thing to see here in the future, is me growing up the audience, and I'm going to be just talking about whatever I think is worthy for us. So it'll be that drama of the day, but it actually has an impact on us and the markets, which is exactly the kind of focus that I think personally, like I do want to do that type of stuff, right? And hey, Brock, man, enjoy your bike ride, man. I'll be talking here. It'll be a good stream here today, because we actually got some crazy stuff going on, actually. So amongst all this other news, though, this was just breaking a few minutes ago. Stablecoin issuer Circle prices IPO at $31 above expected range ahead of the New York Stock Exchange debut. So what I was actually going to do is pull this up. I have to just right, left. Yeah, okay, there we go. What I want to do is actually pull this up for us. I'm going to turn my audio up to 90% so you guys can hear what's going on. And then I got CNBC pulled up. And I'm just going to play this for us very fast. And I'm just going to make this full screen and turn my own volume down so it's not screaming in my ears. So this is going to be big news, guys. Stablecoins, buying up stuff is great for us. Big institutional money has been going into stablecoins. Even Trump has made his own stablecoin. As crazy as it is, or his company has, right?
Breaking news on Circle.
Let me refresh this a little bit, put my volume up. So this is about Circle news here.
We've got breaking news on Circle, the stablecoin issuer just pricing its IPO. Tanea McKeel's got the details. Tanea.
Yeah, Melissa, Circle, the issuer of one of the biggest stablecoins in the world, has priced its IPO at $31 per share. So that is above the expected range of between $27 and $28. And that would give the...
Okay, that's such a small range, though. That's a very tiny range. I'm okay with it being $31.
Company a total market value of about $6.8 billion. So they'll raise about $1.05 billion in the offering of 34 million shares. It's a measure of... In a measure of enormous demand for the company, Circle actually increased the number of shares sold in the IPO from 32 million after the market closed today. So originally, Circle had sought to raise just $624 million by selling 24 million shares in a range of $24 to $26 per share. Back to you.
There you go. I mean, that's all they had to say about that. But again, it just shows all the stuff we're involved with. It is getting better and better and better. And now they're going to be on the New York Stock Exchange. Oh, you better believe that's going to be a crazy day. I don't exactly know how good of a day they're going to have when they do IPO. But that being said, I think in the long term, it will perform well. Almost like if you guys remember when we were playing with Hood, and by Hood, I mean Robinhood. Here's the weekly chart, right? IPO'd all the way back over here. We day traded this for a little bit. We didn't buy into it because we knew it was going to crash, because back then, this was 2022. 2022 was a horrible year for all most assets. We knew it was going to crash. You know, we started to load up on this over here. And to my surprise, you know, I pretty much sold off like 99.9% of all my Robinhood now. And it's still going higher, which is a very big surprise to me. Now, whenever the market decides to come back down as far as crypto is concerned and all that type of stuff, Robinhood will come down with it, unfortunately, right? But I will probably buy Robinhood in the future, because remember, when we were buying Robinhood down here, the average that I had was like $10. You know, selling it, like I started selling it up here around $18, $25, up here $45. But even by here, I was already like 80% out of it. I sold the last little bit as it was crashing back down here after this big spike. So, and that was tariff related, right? So I'm so happy with my results, but I think we might see Circle do something similar to this, where it might have a strong beginning. It'll die down for a little bit, maybe not as dramatic. And then if you guys want to buy into the company, you guys can. But I'm just curious to see how the market will accept it, because we've never actually had a company like this really go out, you know, onto the exchanges and say, hey, buy our company up. We have tons of shares to offer. I am going to be very concerned, not concerned, just very interested in seeing what happens there. Now, as far as the big news, as you guys know, the market had a little bit of a freak out moment today. Everybody was freaking out. Here's one video we can watch, and the other one is going to be, if I can find it from this morning, Elizabeth Warren. Here we go. All right.
May 80.
So this was the ADP jobs report. The next one we're going to watch
is releasing
is the
its
beige book. And I just want to put all of this together to explain really what's going on in the mindset people are going to be having. And then from there, we're going to move over to the probabilities for the rate cuts, because these are always really fun to talk about, even though the data isn't that great. It's shifted so much over the past few months that all of the stuff we were looking at, it's just completely different, to be honest, right? And hey, Tyler, before I do this, I watched you for almost a year. Never asked, what do you do full time? If so, what? I guess full time, I'm technically a trader. Then I'm a YouTuber, and then I do some consulting work on the side. The consulting work is more of a side hustle. I just have over the years, I've created a very broad network, and people will say, hey, Michael, I'm looking for somebody like this and this to help me out. I'll give you a kickback if you help me reach out to this person. I'm like, oh yeah, I can help you out. Stuff like that. But I would say that takes up like maybe 2 hours out of my week, if anything, if that at all. Most of my time is basically just stuck to swing trading, and I don't relaxing and doing stuff for YouTube. That's basically it. I have very bad ADHD, so typically I'm not as I don't want to say disciplined, but I'm not as productive as your average worker out there. So what you know. I'm just, you're not going to see a lot of work coming from me, but I'm spending a lot of time on it, I guess you would say. But I like to swing trade and take my profits, and that's pretty much it. And I live off of that, yeah. So I guess trade would be probably the number one thing here.
ADP payrolls showed a gain of 37,000. That was the lowest increase since March of 2023, and far below the estimates of a gain of 110,000. You had total private payrolls that were up by 37,000, goods down by 2,000, services up by 36,000. Non-farm payrolls, the estimate was up 125,000. And joining us right now to talk more about all.
Okay, before they start going over to this woman who's very knowledgeable, she does it every month. If you guys ever get a chance, listen to what she says because it's very important. But I mean, just look at those numbers; they're not good. Total private, right? Just the private companies right there, only 37,000. We've lost goods from good producing. We've lost jobs there, and then service industry that's continuing to get better. But I mean, these are horrible, horrible, horrible numbers. And hey, J-Mark, happy to see you. What about Caspa? I think it's good for the long term, but right now it's very, very choppy, like most things out there, right? And I'm trying to learn and just trying to change my work lifestyle. So before we play this last bit, I did nothing for like 5 years of my life, and I just saved and saved and saved. And I did like dividend plays. I learned how to trade doing like paper trading. Like I had no life for 5 years of my life. Like that was like very bad for my mental health, very good for my pocket. But it requires like for me, like my weekends, I maybe hang out with friends every now and again. But like back in the day, it was only just learning, reading all those books. Books plus paper trading plus having a trading journal are great. If you guys don't have a trading journal, I think you have less than a 10% chance of becoming a successful trader. Without a trading journal, nothing is possible. I'd really hone in on that specific part of your strategy. It like you can look back and see why things are not working, and eventually you're like, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work. So you just choose the things that work out well. You might not be trading as much, but at least you're walking away with more money at the end of the month. That's the important thing. All right, let's listen to what the lady has to say.
All of this is Neela Richardson. She is the chief economist at ADP. Neela, this is a little bit of a surprise on the headline. You want to walk us through what's happening here?
Sure. So the lower number is really driven by shedding of jobs in the goods sector. We saw manufacturing, which actually had some surprise increases earlier this year, shed jobs in May. So that hiring momentum starts there, but it extends through several parts of the services sector, too. We saw losses in professional business services. We saw losses in healthcare jobs. So anyone who's looking at the Friday jobs print, remember that healthcare was a big, strong job creator last month. Trade, transportation, and warehousing also shedding jobs, also was up, trending up in the BLS report on Friday. But where I want to really
look at that. Now, a small business of less than 50 employees, they're losing a lot of workers. They're being forced to lay off people. The medium-sized jobs with 50 to 499 employees, those are going up. And then the large employees of over 500 employees, basically 500 and larger, they're down 300. So really, it's just those small businesses keeping people afloat right now. And I think that's just, we're going to have to see more into that and see if these numbers change in the future. But yeah, let me go back over here to see what she has to say.
clue in, Becky, is on small firms, because the smallest firms lost the most jobs in the May ADP report. I think that is something that we should all be paying particular attention to, because employment under 250, that's responsible for 70% of workers in the United States. So as goes small firms, as goes the labor market.
Well, I mean, that's been the big question. A lot of the policy changes that have come from the administration are things that large firms have a better shot at navigating. They can kind of lobby more effectively for it, and they have the ability to deal with some of these changes with a larger workforce. They can be more proactive on some of these issues. We've certainly seen that reflected in the stock market. The Russell 2000 has fallen well below what you would see with the other major averages. Sucks. How does this compare, though? You're not talking about massive loss of jobs. It's down 13,000.
No, we're not. And that's an important point. This is not a labor market that's collapsing. This is a labor market where hiring is hesitant. It doesn't mean that these firms don't want to hire or aren't positioned to hire, but there is an uncertainty weighing on that hiring. And we've seen that for the second straight month. So the good news, I guess, is that it's a market that could turn around. And I'd also point to leisure and hospitality, which saw 38,000 gains.
Yeah, that's a surprise.
And it matches the JOLTS data from yesterday, which saw the job openings in that sector and entertainment go up. So in terms of consumer resiliency, we still want to see movies. We still want to go and get our entertainment. That sector is still strong. Consumers are still expected to spend on things that bring them entertainment.
Now look at that. Leisure hospitality, doing fantastic. Financial activities, doing fantastic. Construction, doing good. But education and health services, not good. Professional biz services, not good. Funny enough, these, along with construction, actually are a big part of where the government spends its money. So they might have been losing off money the last few months and be like, okay, yeah, we probably should need to lay off some people until the spigot opens up from the government again, which probably won't happen for a while, to be honest, right? Not going to happen for a while. Now, I'm not going to make you watch the rest of this video here. There's you guys can watch it on your own time. The next part here is the beige book. So we already know that jobs are slowing, right? This is the next part, talking about the beige book. A much shorter video, but I would say this just kind of brings everything together so you guys understand why so many people are wanting the Fed to cut a little bit sooner. That would include Donald Trump and a lot of Republicans on Capitol Hill, even Elizabeth Warren. They want those cuts to happen soon because of the data that you're about to see right here.
Book. It just did so moments ago. Our Megan Casella is in D.C. and been digging through it. Megan, what can you tell us?
Hey, Don, this was a beige book really centering on tariffs and uncertainty, which shouldn't be surprising. A few headlines to bring you guys here. The Fed says economic activity has declined slightly, they say, since the previous report. They say half of the districts reported slight to moderate declines in activity. They say all districts reported elevated levels of economic and policy uncertainty, and that has led to hesitancy and a cautious approach to business and to household decisions. They also say manufacturing activity declined slightly overall, and on balance, they say here the outlook was, quote, slightly pessimistic and uncertain. They say that's unchanged relative to the previous report. A few districts said that their outlook deteriorated, while others said that it had improved. Now, on the jobs front, unemployment, they called that little changed, said most districts described employment as flat since the last report, but that comments about uncertainty delaying hiring were widespread. On the inflation front, a little bit worse here. They said prices have increased at a moderate pace since the previous report, and that there were widespread reports of contacts expecting their costs and prices to rise at a faster rate going forward. So overall here, guys, we did a quick search. We found 112 mentions of tariffs in this report, 69 mentions of uncertainty. So it gives you a sense of the theme there. On the prices, one other piece of Fed news today. The New York Fed was out with a survey this morning showing that 3/4 of businesses surveyed passed at least some of the additional costs due to tariffs directly onto consumers. About a quarter of manufacturers, you can see on the left, said they swallowed the cost. But then on the right side here, you can see a third of manufacturers and nearly half in the services sector passed 100% of the cost onto consumers. So, Dom, we've been...
Damn. So yeah, so these tariffs, there's a good chance that they did raise prices for some goods out there right now. I don't think it was noticeable, or at least for me. Again, I get my food from Instacart. I don't really buy too much stuff out there. I was just in Vegas last week, as you guys know. I didn't really necessarily buy as much stuff. And Vegas prices are always inflated, so I can't really use that as a proper metaphor, perhaps, or whatever, or but. Companies are not going to really swallow this. Now, a few did, right? Quarter, but most companies put a lot of these extra costs that they had because of tariffs directly on the consumer, and it seems like the consumers were able to withstand it. But when I see stuff like this, it makes me wonder. I wonder if inflation is going to be high this month, or for last month, basically, because of what we just heard that lady say just now. So next week, I believe it is going to be... economic calendar, right? Next week we're supposed to have this week CPI next Wednesday. This CPI could be a great boost for Bitcoin and the rest of the market, or it could be a real nasty drop, cause a nasty drop here. So I'm really hoping the fact that they did pass on those prices doesn't affect the CPI all too much, because if it does, I'd be very disappointed. We haven't talked about inflation in a minute as far as the trading economics post. But if I go over here very quickly, last 5 years, you know, we've been trickling down over and over and over again. And if you go over here to the last 3 years, we're at 2.3%. We haven't been that low since February of 2021. We're on a good pathway here. Now, though, instead of being at 2.3, the forecast for next month is going to, or for next Wednesday, I should say, is going to be 2.6%, which would be a little bit higher, right? I'd probably say above, right? Oh, I got to log in. Fuck that. But yeah, so that inflation could be very, very bad for us right now. We want to see everything going the same way as far as, oh yeah, rate cuts are imminent. We're looking good there. Ooh, the economy is still holding on. Oh yeah, we're good there. Yeah, you want to have all that building up on top of itself to give us some good indications that the market is going to be moving higher. Now let me go back over here to Bitcoin very fast. Because all we're seeing right now is a bunch of choppiness after that nasty drop that came from when Trump started talking about tariffs again. And I believe he only talked about steel tariffs and maybe something else. And that was enough for the market to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. That being said, this is the 15-minute chart for Bitcoin. This is the 15-minute chart for the NASDAQ. They are different. They are completely different. So maybe Bitcoin will find a way to get pumping again. Just because the NASDAQ is doing okay, the SPY is doing okay, even the Russell is doing good, right? Even gold is still holding on pretty well. Maybe that's enough to get Bitcoin back into the game here. I'm skeptical because I like to see Bitcoin move without everything else moving strong. But it looks like Bitcoin is just trying to find a level of support. And for those of you guys like doing the Fibonacci's and everything like that, let me go over here, get rid of smart money. Let's go to the daily chart, pull this up, and then what is that? 420. Okay, there we go. There you go. All right, let me lock this in place just so it makes sense. There we go. We've already bounced off of it once. So if we do break down below this level around $102,000 and we are starting to move down further, we may go down as far as $97,000. If you wanted to squeeze this a little bit more, you have that right. And of course, that would push us all the way back down to $101,000 right here, which matches up with the support we met from all the way back over here in mid-May, May 12th, May 13th levels. So I would say you have two opportunities here. For me, because I'm a little bit more greedy, maybe I just want to see a little bit of a bigger dip, I might wait for us to maybe test out 101,643. Going around there, I might find myself for an opportunity for a short-term trade where I, like we did over here, buy the dip and then try to trade that bounce, hoping that we can break out above. But this is going to seem kind of funky. By then, we'll have some moving averages close by. So whatever we do, we're going to have a really big breakout or a really nasty drop down towards $95,000, $96,000. So that volatility is going to stick around for a while. And it's going to be great if you guys know how to trade those simple breakdowns and stuff like that. But the issue I would say right now is just that we have to wait to see what happens from some of this economic data. Because if we're lucky, we won't even break down below this level here and we'll have a way to break out. That seems unlikely now because of some of the news we heard over the last few days. And the... Oh, if I can find it. Go over here, not Maple Story. Oh, well, no, there's Elon right there. There we go. As we kind of get more and more news about all of the Elon stuff, like Elon just 5 hours ago penned a new tweet. And it's this one. Fox News comments is a great place to understand conservative views since they get so much traffic. I was curious what the people were saying about the Elon shift shit talking the Better Business Bureau, and I'm shocked. Oh, Big Beautiful Bill. Reminds me of Build Back Better. Big Beautiful Bill, and I'm shocked. Almost every comment is agreeing with Elon, and that's the same on my channel. When you guys comment on my channel, you guys are agreeing with Elon here. So again, I don't know how this is going to pan out, but Elon is now 100% against the Big Beautiful Bill. He is going to try to get it demolished in the Senate and rebuilt into something else. I don't know if he's able to do that legally because it is a reconciliation bill, but we'll find out pretty darn soon here. I mean, Elon is on the warpath right now, as much as a tweeter can be on the warpath. You get what I'm saying? But what do you call Kill Bill? Oh, get it? Kill Bill? Ha 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 ha! Kill the Bill! Ha ha! God, sometimes I'm a little bit dense. But yeah, right. Oh, faced with raised eyebrows, they claim that the one big beautiful bill reduces deficits by 1.4 trillion over 10 years is not supported by most analysts. CBO estimates it increases deficits by 2.3 to 3.8 trillion dollars, with the CRFB and the other projecting to 2.6 and 3.1 trillion, including interest. Right? Sorry for it to be all a word salad and stuff like that. I mean, but this is as plain as it can be. Call your senator, call your congressman. Bankrupting America is not okay. Kill the bill. Kill the bill. When are they going to flatten the curve? They're never going to flatten. Guys, we've been over this a long time. Whether it's Trump or Biden or pre-Trump, you know, the other Trump, Obama, Bush, Clinton, other Bush, you know, Reagan. And, you know, the debt really just isn't something they want to deal with here. So, like, USA debt. No, that's debt to GDP. We want just debt. Where's the debt at? That is definitely not it. Well, I can't find it here. That's fine. No, maybe this is it. Last 10 years. Yeah. In the millions. Yeah, okay. You know, we can't go larger than that because I don't pay for this. Maybe I should pay for this, actually. How much does this cost? I don't mind. I might just pay the $4. Oh, it's $5 a week. Interesting. Trial week. Okay, I see. That's interesting. That's kind of stupid then. But yeah. You know, we're just going higher and higher and higher. COVID fucked us up, but like after COVID, you might think that Biden was going to slow down spending. That'd be a negatory. We're still going higher and higher and higher. You know, Trump came into office back in January. It's been flattening a little bit here, but after this big beautiful bill, it might decide to go even higher. Because even, you know, we've had flat tops before where things cool off for a little bit of time, and then they just kind of like, boom. And, you know, Elon is, I guess, very much against that happening again. Very much of that happening again. All right, so let me back up out of here very fast. I don't know where you guys stand on this, but, I mean, there is a clear split in the Republican Party, especially in the Senate, over who they should support, with, I think, a lot of the more vocal people, the vocal people being very much against raising the debt even more, right? Here's a good picture, though. I mean, look at this. This is exactly what you want to see. Democrat, Republican national debt year by year. Jimmy Carter, not too much. Reagan gets us kicked off. Bill Clinton keeps us going and tails off a little bit here. George Bush and war basically keeps us going. Barack Obama supercharging it. Donald Trump doing nothing to slow it down. And I get there was COVID at the end. I get it. And then, of course, Biden doing nothing to slow it down as well. Damn. I mean, you can just see the spiral that we're in, and I don't know how we get out of that one. You know, I just don't know. We gotta have a strong GDP, but I don't think we're gonna increase our GDP by that much until we get AI doing most of the work. So I think the only thing that can really help us get out of this catastrophe would be AI, right? Would be AI. But healthcare will even out in incredible highs with COVID. We don't have that virus running around, so the numbers are deflating to a normal range. Well, that's been interesting because even after COVID ended, they were still hiring more and more and more. I think what we've been seeing, honestly, in the healthcare space is new hospitals being built, but also we've been seeing these really cool little clinics being built. I don't know if you guys have seen them, but let me see if I can go over here very fast. ER clinic. Tacoma, maybe close to where I live. And they look like these. No, that's a full-on medical center. Here's one. Look at these. They're little mini hospitals, basically. But if you have a real emergency, they got to take you. They're not doing surgery and stuff in here. but they got the X-ray machines and everything like that, which is absolutely insane. Look at that. It's just a little mini one. So if you don't want to go to the hospital, like this is Good Samaritan, you know, if you don't want to go all the way over here to their main hospital, which is Good Samaritan's over here, right? You can be like, oh yeah, I'll go to their clinic over here. It's all part of the same system. I don't know how it works in each individual person's, you know, where you guys live, but where I live, those things have been sprouting up freaking everywhere. And I was thinking those must be the ones hiring everybody right now, because I haven't seen the same demand for travel nurses as there was back during COVID. Excuse me. But damn, yeah, those nurses, yeah, hopefully they're making some good money. Downtown Vegas is much better. I didn't get a chance to go to downtown Vegas last week. All I was able to do last week, if I go over here very fast, I go to my drive here. All I did was go to meetings and parties and chill out with people and have a fantastic time. Literally, that's all I did. Remember, I showed you guys these photos the other day. I met with Jack Mahlers. He was a good, chill guy. Where's the other guy at? I mean, there's Benjamin Cohen. I always like to see him when I'm there. He had a good party. Sean Kelly. Oh, Crypto RS, met him. We were chilling at one of the clubs together. There's Action CEO on what do you call? There's one of Crypto RS's main guys, Josh. He's a great guy. And then all I did was basically like party and just drink. I didn't even get a chance to go to Fremont Street. Yeah, no Fremont Street, no nothing. It was a vibe, I would say. It was a vibe. But yeah, I wish I would have got the picture with Satoshi. I thought I put that in there, but I probably didn't for whatever reason. But yeah, I did nothing that I thought I was going to do in Vegas. I got invited to all these like little side events, and I was like, oh, okay, you're chill. I met some cool hip hop rappers and stuff like that. That was really cool. Old school hip hop rappers though, like Polynesian ones. They actually, I didn't realize I actually heard their song when I was younger. It was actually good music. Oh man. Let's see. And hey, Brock, you almost up with nursing school? Oh, nice. One of my friends just completed nursing school. Another one just became an official doctor, heart doctor. And man, they've been showing me some of that money they're making. Oh yeah, you're gonna have a good time here, a really good time. And hey, MK, happy to see you as well. Hope you're doing well. So guys, basically right now we're seeing Bitcoin consolidate here, trying to make a larger move. Don't fall into a false sense of security thinking that this is the ultimate support for Bitcoin right now. It can definitely go lower than that right now. It can definitely go lower. That's my main concern right now, is that we're not going to be able to have a strong level of support here because of all the drama that we were talking about with Elon Musk, Trump, and then, you know, what would Trump do to retaliate? Because I could definitely see that since Elon Musk is now going after Trump, man, Trump has levers that he can go after Elon Musk with as well. I think people always forget that like these are two very powerful people. You go over here and you look at Tesla. Last few days, Tesla's starting to fall down a little bit because people don't want to see Elon Musk fight with Trump, because Trump will just say, "Oh yeah, we're going to be placing auto tariffs on cars coming from China." Something really specific to Elon Musk, and you know that's just going to create a big firestorm for Elon Musk. And while I agree with Elon Musk about the big beautiful bill, like, hey, it's going to spend a shit ton of money. Damn, as a Tesla holder, I wish he would just go fucking work on cars. Like, go over there, like, do that shit. Let the Republicans like do whatever they want to do. That's fine for me right now. But like, you know, Elon is hurting my money right now. But we could just be seeing a short-term top, hopefully, because overall we're still looking pretty strong here. But good God, all this drama, it's exhausting. But you know what? At least the market is up right now. At least we're kind of chill right now. You know, I know a lot of people have been making fun of me in the comments saying, "Oh my God, didn't you vote for Trump? Isn't this what you wanted?" And I'm like, yeah, this is what I expected to happen. I wasn't like rosy-eyed about it, but I just knew Kamala and Gary Gensler were going to kill crypto, and you know, in a sense. So I don't want to have to worry about that. Crypto is my baby right now. You know how much of my net worth I got tied up in this stuff? It's not even tied up. I've been scaling up bit by bit, but like, it's just like, you know, I don't want to have Gary Gensler coming in here suing me and all that crap to crap. Oh, that'd be traumatizing right there. Let's see. Will alts rebound in June? I would expect so, but you got to give them time. Like usually when it comes to these months, remember, this was a nasty month for us right here in April. Went all the way down to 74,000, but by the time April closed, we were fine. We should continue to keep on moving up higher. The only caveat being we got to really hope that Trump isn't going to try to do another massive wave of tariffs. Sorry, just making sure my dog isn't doing anything. In fact, I can take these off for now because I don't need them. Thought somebody was knocking or something. Logie. Yeah, give him a treat. Yum, yum, yum. Yep. All right. Just want to make sure he's doing okay. But yeah, we're still fine here. And if you want to look at the long-term technicals, the MACD is still strong. We're a little bit more choppy here on the stochastic and the RSIs here. But that's not too concerning to me because we've been choppy on those ones for a minute here. Really on the longer term charts at the monthly, it's just been the MACD that's been really a big help for us. The weekly charts are still bullish, bullish, bullish. The 12-day is still bullish, bullish, bullish. The daily is bearish, bearish, bearish. And this is where we're seeing some of that choppiness coming here right now. And while it's not like a lot of choppiness, it's not like it's crazy, oh my God, the end of the world stuff here. Those little bit of moves really cause the altcoin market to fall off a cliff here. Like for example, this is a daily chart. Ethereum wants to break out so bad. It really does, doesn't it? It really wants to break out. Why though? Why does it want to break out when everything else doesn't? Solana's coming back down a little bit. Doge came back down a little bit. Melania is still coming down. WIF is still coming down. Trump is still coming down. You know, Miro. Everything is giving up some of the gains that we saw over the past few weeks, and that's fine. But I want you guys to make sure that you were able to scale out something for the profits, right? If you guys weren't able to scale out anything, that's where I'm like, uh-oh, guys, you guys got to be careful there. Because, you know, as far as my plan over the past few weeks, remember, my plan was as soon as Bitcoin started going green here, right here, right? Because we did two salvos of buying. One buying over here when Bitcoin was crashing, and another one right here when the MACD and stochastic on our side were all pointing towards a high moment with a breakout, right? So my plan was to buy up some here, which I did, and then let it ride because I was expecting something similar to something that we've seen over the past, where we have these MACD showing strong momentum. We buy and there's a nice breakout, we're good. Big breakout, we're fine. You know, big breakout, we're fine. We're not necessarily seeing that this time. And I guess there's a bunch of variables about why that's happening. But I would have to say, as far as like how I want the market to go, I'm very disappointed at this point. And that's because while I've been forced to scale out sooner than I wanted to, we really just haven't seen that big boom that I've been looking for. And I'm waiting to see if there is going to be some type of issue with this here, because I was expecting us to get to at least $120,000 before we saw any meaningful crashes back down to like maybe below $100,000. And that's not necessarily happening right now. Now, again, I get that we were talking, like Trump started introducing tariffs back into the system, or the ethos, whatever you want to call it. You know, he started talking about tariffs again. But I was hoping he wouldn't go down that path again, seeing how much carnage it caused way back over here. And now, unfortunately, he has done that. And so it may take a few more weeks for us to get that big boom that I want us to have, all because, you know, everybody's a little bit more passive right now, risk off right now. Until we get this inflation stuff kind of situated. I believe he just signed new tariffs into law today or yesterday. If I go over here and tariff. Let's see. Let's see. All right, let me just type in Trump tariff. I just want to find the number for the steel ones that he did. No. There we go. Trump's 50% tariffs on metals come into effect an hour ago. So U.S. President Donald Trump has signed an order doubling tariffs on steel and aluminum imports from 25% to 50%. We need steel for a lot of shit here, guys. So if that becomes more expensive, that just means basically the governments of the world have to pay more. The governments of America have to pay more because usually it's the governments, doing a lot with the steel, right? So it is what it is. I wish there was some better news on that front. But yeah, this is kind of I can't even articulate my thoughts properly on this one. It's just kind of a mess, a mess is probably the best way to think about it right now. But I mean, we're going to have to live with it for a little bit. We've had opportunities to make money this cycle, but I'm hoping we can continue to make really good rallies here because I really want to see Bitcoin hit 120,000, 150,000, or if you want to go with Tom Lee, up to 250, right? That's the crazy level he's talking about. Very impressive. I cannot wait. I hate being a burden to others while in school. But I mean, in school, it's your job to be a burden to the teacher so you can learn. You're never a burden to a good teacher. That's the way I feel about it, right? That's the way I feel about this type of stuff. Thoughts on Dotmatic and AVAX potential this cycle? So primarily for Dot and AVAX, I think they have some really good potential for having some really good booms and having a really beautiful altcoin season. Matic I'm a little bit more hesitant about that one because it just has not been performing that well. I'm sure it'll have a really big boom, but I don't know if percentage-wise it will net the best results of the three. I own all three. I've owned Matic the longest of them. And I've just stopped dollar cost averaging and Matic because it's just performed so badly for me to the point where I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to hold it. It might go up out of nowhere and I'll be able to sell it for a profit eventually. But until that happens, I'm just going to leave the money in there and let it sit. I did something similar with Moodang a few weeks ago, and Moodang took off and went to the moon, and I was able to sell a good chunk of it for a profit after seeing massive losses for a while. So, Dot, AVAX, much more potential, I believe, than Matic. Matic has just been kind of a thing where, actually, I believe we talked about this yesterday, where it just wasn't able to keep up with the hype, and the technology has been moving on without it, and they haven't been able to innovate as much as some of the new blockchain companies coming out to the market. Maybe they'll figure it out, but I just haven't seen really much growth for them. I mean, let me go over here to Polygon. Are they hiring right now? Let me see. I think they should be still. I mean, at least I think they're doing some good stuff. Government pillars, careers. Right? They still got tons of places. Katana, corporate, business, right? USA, Hong Kong, right? So they're still hiring, not as many people as before, but at least they're still growing, I would say. Chief of staff, CEO, I like. Right? They're looking for an experienced chief of staff to support and work alongside the CEO in the day-to-day activities. $200 annual book allowance program, $1,500 office setup allowance, lifetime max. Interesting. Matching 401k, egg freezing, mental health, and employee wellness benefits. Egg freezing. What a weird thing to toss in there. I'm not a female, so I don't know if that's a really positive thing, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, but they're still hiring. They don't tell you the pay, though. God, I haven't had an actual job since 2020 when I lost my job to COVID. I haven't had a resume in almost half a decade. That's insane. Like, now I don't know if I ever lost all of my money trading or something like that, or if I couldn't make money off of YouTube anymore. How would I make a living? I don't even have a resume anymore. Maybe I have a LinkedIn profile. Maybe that would do the trick, right? Time Pool went over the 50 good things on the bill. Oh, not Time Pool, Tim Pool. Probably talking about Tim Pool, right? I haven't watched Tim Pool all too much. I don't really have time to watch YouTube as much as I want to, because maybe during the time I would be watching YouTube, I'm on YouTube and it's a little bit kind of funky. But I need to start watching some of them because they do put out some good content. I need to learn how to make some good content for them, which is why I love streaming with you guys, because then I can tell you like, hey, this is what's working, this is what's not. I know some of you guys might like the political content, but that's the stuff that's working right now. And remember, my YouTube channel at this point in time does not make me any money because I'm demonetized. So I'm doing this just because I enjoy doing it, and my trading and my little side consulting business, those are doing fine. But remember, go over here. I haven't made any money this month. Last 28 days, I made zero from this channel. But excuse me. Like these new videos right here, right? As long as they get above this gray line right here, which looks, you can kind of see it, that's what I'm looking for. I want to see growth, and that's good. They usually start off small, but over time they have a little more of a spike. I did another video yesterday, and you see how this one went much higher, much higher. I'm liking it. I even get some subscribers and stuff like that from it. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for growth right now. So I'm testing out a bunch of different theories, a bunch of different things, and then pretty soon what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay some guy that I have my new editor. I'm going to be doing news videos for you guys, and it's going to be the TDLR news style, where basically it's not going to be about how the left wants South Korea's thing, but it'll basically be like a 5-minute video just talking about a topic that I'm interested in. And for example, this week it would be Trump versus Elon Musk, right? And I've been looking and learning how they edit, and I'm going to be using that to make content for you guys. Now that's still a couple weeks out, but I do think it's interesting, and I do want to get involved in that style as well. So it'll be fun. Bitcoin and Ethereum for the next 48 hours and arbitrary and injections by liquids. Lead us, please. Well, I'm not going to go over all of that for you, but basically, we're still in a downtrend right now. We're trying to find a way to have a little more of a breakout, and we're just not doing a good job of it. I would say if you're looking for a complete trend shift, you have to go to the 1-hour chart or the 15-minute chart, and you have to see what happens during the first 30 minutes of market open, because that's typically where we're going to see the majority of the volatility here. What I see is longer term is still fine. It's that short term choppiness, which means we're still consolidating in a continuation pattern, if you will, to continue going higher down the road. So short term down, still long term we're still fine, but the volatility of us going down really depends on what Trump says, because if he continues to go off all this tariff talks, that is bad for the market. If there is more fighting between Elon Musk and Donald Trump that threatens the big beautiful bill, that's not good for Bitcoin. Now that may be better for the country, but it's not good for Bitcoin, right? All that type of stuff. And then coming up to next week, we have the CPI report coming out Wednesday. If that's not good, that's also a big hit. But short-term bearish, long-term still fine. Still great. I still like what I see there as far as the momentum shifts. And hey, Crypto Treats, happy to see you, my man. Soon you will. I'm sure I'm enjoying listening to what you have to say. For sure, great content. I appreciate that a lot. If you guys do like the content, please make sure to subscribe. I'll be streaming from 4 o'clock Sunday through Thursdays from now on for 2 to 3 hours here. And then we can talk about all the fun news going on. But as far as my videos and stuff like that, I'm going to start grinding them out quite a bit. Like literally after the stream is over in a little bit, maybe like an hour or so, I'm going to go over and talk to my friends at the cigar lounge for a little bit, go hang out with them and catch up to see what they're doing. And then I'm going to come back over here and I'm just going to pump out 2 videos, maybe 3 videos. That way I have some content for you guys tomorrow morning, which will be fantastic. Basically talking about all the headline stuff from today that I think you guys should focus on if you guys haven't already. But it's going to take me some time to get a rhythm down, because again, if you go over here, or if I go over here, I want to put a video out at 10 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., and 3 p.m., and I think that'd be a very great way to do it. That way you guys can see whatever, how do I describe it? You guys don't have to watch all 5 videos, but I'm hoping there's 1 or 2 in there that you will like and you will watch, and you'll give it a like, you'll comment down below it and stuff like that. And that's kind of the stuff I like, right? Like today when I was doing those videos, the comments, let's see. Chris says, you wanted to play games, didn't you? Ask for that game. When you was warned by me, what are you doing? I don't know what that means, but I'm going to give him a heart. And this would be a fake bot right here, right? And then you go back over here, get rid of all this stuff. Big tech versus politics, the battle be held of the century, like David versus Goliath, except for it's Goliath versus Goliath. Get the popcorn, right? Again, that's that spam bot right here. But yeah, right. And then this guy says like I was wrong. I'm spreading lies, and nothing was ever said like that. And then he came to my defense, right? So there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on in here. But I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep putting that constant out there. You will hear my opinions with facts, but you will not hear maybe the opinions you want to hear. So just get prepared for that. But I mean, like, it is what it is. I feel like that's the beauty of YouTube, though, right? Live crypto trading show will get you views. Yeah, well, what I wanted to do today, which I haven't had the opportunity to do yet, is I was looking for this. So this is a 5-minute chart. What I was looking to do is during my streams, I was going to be doing day trading with you guys, but we haven't had an opportunity to look at it just yet. So basically, if I were to go over here, let's get rid of that for now. Let's just go over, yeah. Go to 5-minute chart. I was just going to go off of the smart money concepts ones, but we haven't had a change of character yet, right? This is from 235. It ran up against the order block, so you'd basically be buying here and selling there for small little scalps, right? But ever since we started the stream back over here, we really haven't had a signal saying, oh yeah, buy or sell just yet. So I'm kind of waiting. But maybe we'll have an opportunity for that tomorrow. But maybe I'll do a 1 hour. But the 1 hour, the 1 minute. The 1 minute seems so much less predictable, right? Like that one didn't work out. That one worked out. We are in a bearish trend on the 15 and the 1 hour and the 2 hour and the 4 hour. So maybe I should just be doing all the shorts here and seeing where that takes us on the 1 minute chart. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, maybe we'll have to do that tomorrow. That may be interesting. We would have to take off the order blocks because the order blocks mean nothing to us right now. We'd have to zoom out enough, and then we'd have to go back over to that layout that we talked about, Bitcoin live trading. But instead of the 4, we'd have to go to the 130. No. Yeah. 15 and 1. And then if everything aligns, like you see how this is bearish, all red, we know that we're going to be just following the scalping shorts right here, right? And then, stop loss right there and trade it down to a level we see fine. That would be the trick right there. It works. I mean, you can see if you just follow those ones. So far, it worked a little bit here. But these are scalps. I mean, these are scalps. These are. You are taking small trades, and you're hoping that whatever the fees are when you do these types of trades are not going to overtake any of the profits that you make, and that's a whole different ball game then, right? And that's why when I work out my deals with exchanges, I give you guys good benefits for that. Like right now, if you guys use my Syndex link down below, you guys get VIP level 6 instead of VIP level 1 or 0 when you sign up, and that basically means that you guys get half of your trading fees off for life. Pretty cool. Giving a little plug for my sponsors here, but that type of stuff always works out very well. So maybe we'll do this tomorrow. I was hoping for the 5-minute charts to work out because I wanted to do a stream for 3 hours, and then if I do the 5-minute chart here, right, these things usually last for a minute. Like this trade over here, going up to a level over, let's just say we sold at the very top, we were lucky. That's still 25 minutes. If we sold over here, that's 2 hours and a half, right? Over here, this trade, if it gets up to this level of resistance or whatever, that's still 2 hours. Maybe we do have to do an hour, some scalping. But those fees, I'm really curious to see how the fees are going to act in this type of situation. So maybe what I'll do is maybe weeks or maybe a Syndex. I don't know. I'll find the best, maybe BYD. There's some exchanges I can use. I have some money on, and we'll pump it together. But I think after kind of wait, like today I wanted to start this off. I'm thinking the best way to go about this is to actually just do it on the 1-minute chart and then see where everything goes from there. I don't think it's going to be worth just waiting, if that makes sense. So maybe the way I'll go about this is I will open up the stream talking about, hey, how you guys doing? Show off Loki because he's an amazing dog. And then what we'll do is we'll go over the news. So talking about Elon Musk, whatever, you know, the data that came out today. I'll be going over the coins that are moving really fast and what's happening there. And then after all that's done, then we hop into a live trading mode where basically we're opening up trades and talking and just having a good time together, and then just seeing how much money we can make or lose from those trades. And maybe what we'll do is in real time, we'll be like, okay, yeah. We have a change of character right here that's bearish in the 5-minute chart. We'll be looking at the 1-minute chart. But, oh yeah, let me add this on here. Okay, we have this. Okay, let's not actually open up a trade there. Let's wait for it to break down below that break of structure. Oh yeah, let's open a trade right here, and we can cover the position right here and do those types of trades, right? That might be the best way to go about it, because I can add all the technical analysis in there still at the same time at a good time, and we can just like in rapid succession, you guys can see how I trade. Now, if you guys have ever watched my Smart Money Concepts videos, you guys already know how I trade. But I mean, you know, it's not like those trades give themselves up all the time. It's usually a very grinding process just to wait for everything to say buy, and then you go full throated in, right? But you know, I think those Smart Money Concepts videos like this are still the most successful videos on the channel. Excuse me. Smart Money Concepts, Luxago. Ooh, excuse me. You got Tom. I saw Tom in Vegas. He was chill as always. Luxago. I didn't see the Luxago team there in Vegas this year. I did not see them there. You got mine right there 5 months ago. Trendy Trader. You got mine right there. Mine right there. Right. So I have a few videos in here. I need to make more. Maybe I'll make one Smart Money Concepts tutorial a week or something like that for you guys, and I'll just tweak it a little bit, because there's a lot of views to be had in this one little niche here. Me and Tom have been talking about this stuff for a while here. Even, you know, Ultimate, the Trading Geek, you know, 872,000 views, but his is not so much informative as it is just like an entertainment video talking about it. But yeah, so could be pretty cool. But yeah, I should probably do more of those videos. See, I just don't know. Yeah, it'll be hard to put those videos in with all the other new stuff that I'm doing. So maybe I'll just make a new channel and I'll tell you guys about it. It'll be all straight tutorials, and I'll do 2 or 3 tutorials a week going over stuff. And I think that would actually bring me some views, have a new channel, and then maybe I could have that channel making me money while the main channel is not making me any money at all, which could be very interesting if I do say so myself, right? And anyhow, I'm happy to see my man. The market's looking okay. We're still in a little bit of a downtrend here, but I'm hoping we can pick ourselves back up by the end of the week. Really, it just comes down to all this news that we're seeing over the last couple of days. It's becoming more and more dramatic, and this dramatic news is just not helping the stock market or the cryptocurrency market, but it is helping gold prices, I guess you would say, right? Market sideways or down. Hopefully the next 2 days will be better uptick. Yeah, I don't see anything catastrophic incoming here unless we have some, like, again, like a news event, but we should just continue to come down grindingly slow and consolidate, which in my book is a good thing. The thing that sucks though is, again, if Bitcoin's coming down a few percent or a percent or something like that, grinding slow, altcoins are freaking out like, oh my God, look at all those moves, you know. But you know, it's just something we have to live with as being people that own altcoins, right? They're very low market cap tokens. They are high risk, but man, they have some great returns on those suckers. Some really great returns on those suckers. Oh, look at you being a good boy. Yes, good boy. What? Oh, he didn't even want to give me a hug. He was just like, I'm there for the food. That's it. That's how I got fat, right? And Alex, sounds like a ton of work. Oh yeah, it'll be good. I don't think I really have, like, the only thing I really do in my free time right now is go to the cigar lounge and chill with some friends. I think what I need to do is just get started on that second channel and then figure that out. Because honestly, I do want to open up a gaming channel as well. But that gaming channel is going to be much more difficult because that requires raw time to stream. Like just raw time to like just have available to stream. I don't necessarily have that free time. I like my cigar time where I get to decompress for the day. But I'll say, yeah, the tutorial videos I think are going to be good. And especially it allows me to be more blunt with you guys like I am on the streams. Like I always tell you guys to get trading journals, but I don't even know how many of you guys actually have trading journals after I've told you guys for years to make a trading journal, right? I've even given you guys free trading journals that I've had people pay to make. Like I've I've paid people money to make custom trading journals for me. Now they're not like a 100% perfect or anything, but they are there. They are real. Like, let me go over here to my drive as I sniffle as I get over my allergies from Vegas. Let's see, videos trading. Crypto day trading. Open. Let's see. Like this one, maybe I'll make it available later on again. But basically, you put the buy date, the sell date, stock ticker, all that type of stuff. You do leverage and all that stuff. You do your notes and you do your setup. This isn't the right trading journal actually. But basically, it would have all the stuff set up for you guys, so it does all the math for you. I don't know where I put that exact one. I have maybe I can make a copy of one of my other ones I have. I didn't put the music on today. Watch list, no. Where is it? Yeah, I don't know what happened to it. Well, that's fine. It'll be in one of my older streams for sure. Let me go over here. Lives. As I'm super zoomed in right now. I've done so many lives, so many lives, so many lives. Okay, like 200 streams ago. Maybe it's in one of these. Luxago, Hootsuite, Telegram channel. No. Excuse me. I'll find it eventually and I'll pop it up for you guys. I still use it to this day, but I adjusted it for Excel, which is a little bit different. No, the same one. Nope. Yeah. Oh well, I'll find it for you guys if you guys want it. But yeah, I mean, I'm a huge believer in trading journals. Absolutely massive believer in them. And for those that don't use them, I just don't see how people can succeed being a trader without them because they're just that important. I mean, they're that important. I want so that I kind of want to just see like what the heck is. If I go over to my main channel, I just type in trading journal, will it actually pop up? Trading journal. I got a few videos on it, it looks like. Let's see, do I have the link? No, I don't even have it on this one. Here's this one from 3 years ago. So the file was deleted. I hope Apple didn't delete it. Uh-oh. Well, I hope Google didn't delete it, but yeah, that means it's still somewhere there. No, it's this isn't the right one. I wonder if Google did something because it brought me back up to one of the ones I had before. This is one for options, but the settings aren't up in here. So like if I went in over here and I did like 11, 25, 12, 25. Stock ticker, GameStop, we're having fun. Stop loss, $50. Price target, 125 or 150. Scale out's none. Opening price was 120. Closing price was 150. Profit loss. No, it's not even doing the math for this one. That is interesting. I wonder what happened to it. I might have to figure out what happened because I don't want to do all this stuff by hand. Like there was a drop down menu and everything. Interesting. I wonder if I even had a video on this. No, I don't know. All right, well that's fine. I'll try to figure it out. But that kind of sucks because that thing was really useful. Still use it to this day. That's good. That's good. Yeah. What do you call it? I created my own journal back in the day with Excel and simple formulas. Ooh, the simple formulas are great. I just don't know any of the formulas, so I had to pay somebody to do it for me. It was much different, right? And thanks out to Loki's always been a little beautiful guy. Wherever he's at right now, I think he's playing outside. To be honest. Let's see. Makaraj, I don't know who that is, has a trading channel called, get an idea if he makes some of the trades. My trades are always going to be something that I like. I don't really follow other people too much unless like we're talking about it. I'm going to be on a friend's channel later on this week. What is his channel's name? I think it's TradeFi, but I want to make sure. Yeah, I'm going to be on his channel next Friday. Sorry, not this Friday. It's called TradeFly. TradeFly. I think I might have I did subscribe to him when I met him. So this guy, yeah, so he's a chill guy. I met him. He's a streamer. So I'm gonna talk with him over the next few days and just chill with him on one of his lives and see what he's talking about. He's knowledgeable in the space. He knows what he's talking about. We've talked a little bit about cryptocurrency and stuff like that in Vegas. Just a really nice guy, and he's trying to build up his channel. I'm like, yeah, whatever, we're good. I always like meeting new people in the space, especially with their technical analysis. I don't like other things besides technical analysis. Everything else is still a bit funky. And hey, Renee, sup, my boy? How's the plantar fasciitis? It's excuse me, God, still getting over those allergies. It's getting kind of better, I think. I don't know. I think it's spread to the heel of my foot, but it's not like it's complete pain or anything like that. It's just kind of like it's like a when you pinch yourself and there's that sharp pain in the beginning, but if you just keep the pinch on, you get that burning pain. It's like that burning pain. It's not so much that initial ow, it's the like ooh type pain. But I haven't felt it for a minute here because I've been wearing my proper shoes and stuff like that, or I haven't been walking as long. So that's been fine. I have a little bit of a doggo over here who wants to say hi. Come here. Yeah. Oh, yeah, sure. Good. Yeah. Don't lick the glasses though. Then I gotta clean them. I don't got any wipes over here. Can I have the toy? Oh, no. He wants me to throw the toy, but he won't give me the toy. Yeah. So this is what normally happens when I'm working and you guys don't see it. He's over here having a blast. Can I have the toy? Can I have the toy though? If I have it, I can throw it. If I throw it, you'll be happy. I got it. Okay, there we go. See? And there he goes. Ew. As my hand is all nice and slobbery here. I'm even wearing one of my nicer shirts today. I don't know why I wanted to wear this. This is one of my bespoke shirts, but like, goddamn, I just like some good quality every now and again. But yeah, so it's getting better. It's getting better. Hopefully Bitcoin can go up and make me enough money where I can just like go get some crazy surgery for it. Although I talked to my doctor, he's like, no, you're not even close to needing surgery. So I was like, oh, okay. Man. There we go. Any other news that we should talk about? Ooh, look at this. Trump announces travel ban affecting a dozen countries to get set to go in effect Monday. Ooh, what are these countries? So, the countries include Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, I can't pronounce that name, Haiti. There we go. Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, I'm pronouncing that wrong, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. In addition to the ban, which takes effect at 12:01 a.m. Monday, there will be heightened restrictions on visitors from Bermuda, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. Wow. And then Trump said, I must act to protect the national security and national interests of the United States and its people. Damn. Oh, this is all the way back from an executive order that he did back in the past. Interesting. What else is there right now? Interest rates, yeah. Beigebook, you already talked about all that stuff. Steph Curry's 30 Inc. had 174 million revenue in 2024, and all of its businesses are profitable. Oh, damn. In this economy, good job for them. Three friends launched a chicken finger stand with $900 and just sold in a deal with to close to $1 billion. Damn, that's good for them. Anything else? Marvel Technology? No. Got it here, got it here, got it there, that got it there. Boom, there we go. All right, let me see. Should be fine. I was hoping there was one thing popping today, but there's 0 things popping right now. Everybody is basically just waiting for Bitcoin to make its big move here. I'm gonna go over here to X. DG moves to halt Bailey's travel with child amid safety concerns. Damn, there's a bunch of drama there, but I don't know who any of those people are. So, Andrew Cuomo, Holly, nothing. It's a quiet day today. Let's see. This is the shit they're doing to Andrew Cuomo right now on TV. Damn. Okay, that's kind of brutal right there. That's kind of brutal. But okay, buddy, I think I'm going to call it a day right now. It seems like the chat's died down a little bit here. I've kind of run out of stuff to talk about in the short term.